A very good morning to you all. How are you guys today? Welcome to the Trading Cage. This is where we beat the gold. And here we go to another day. So one more day. We gotta be grateful for everything that God has done for us. So far, He has been awesome. Okay, cool. Good news and bad news on the gold. Good news is that it paid our target over there at the region of 5107. We've been talking about that target for, sorry, let me take these arrows out just so we can make sure that this chart is a bit clearer. Otherwise, it's just too much stuff in there for us to look at. Cool, that's it. I do not need this. I don't need that anymore. We still have got that. Okay, cool. I can take this one out. And let's go over to our daily chart. So, from what we had been talking for the past couple of weeks, the target of this price after the pullback that we had yesterday on the 50% was that minimal of trigger candle 20. And that's exactly where it went to pay us, which is awesome. It's really good when it does what we expect it to do. Now, what have we got? If price breaks through that trigger candle, okay, we have another target, which is the minimal of candle 19. So minimal of candle 19 will be our next target if price maintains above the minimals of candle 20. Okay, so that's our next relevant stopping point. For the moment, we have basically our 50% of our retraction. The analysis hasn't changed. One thing that we have here right now is we know that this support here is really strong, okay, around that 50% there. That support there held the price yesterday really, really well. So it's good to have that mapped. Let's go over to our 1 hour. So here at our 1 hour, 1 hour, what we have is we have got that support that we just draw on the daily, and we have, let's say, price going up. We have got this here. This is support for that price. Okay, let's see. So this region here is a region of support. We don't want to say price coming back inside of this region, okay? Because if it does, then it's going to be telling us that it went over there, touched that trigger candle, then it didn't have enough liquidity to continue its way up. So we want to see price keeping below that support. All right. On the 15 minutes here, we can see the movement that's doing should come here around this last structure here, that high. Let's see how far down this price will try to come down. All right. We do have got inefficiency here. So price is coming to grab that. We also have inefficiency on candle 58. Now, just because we have inefficiency doesn't mean we want the price to come down there. We do hope that it doesn't. Because if it stays above that trigger candle, it means that we can buy into the next target. but I do need it to test for support and give me a strong enough support in this region here, just above that trigger candle. All right, what else do we know about this price at the moment? We do have support here. We do have support below. At the moment, nothing that could. Oh, we have this one here as well. Look at that. Inside here on the 1 hour, which are these stops here. Let me see how this plays out. So I've got these region here. And then I've got another one just below. So these are our supports for the meantime. Let's see if this will keep above them or if it will come to grab that liquidity below. So we're looking for confluences to know if it will continue to go up or if price will come down from where it is at the moment. We don't have any trigger candles that could hold this price right now. They all have been broken through. Just the one on the daily that's been holding this price. But let's see how that will close. Let's go over to our, so this is our 1 hour chart. Let's go around to our 15-minute chart and see how we can map this price around here. So at the moment, we do have that support in that region. We also have got inefficiency here. The price could come and grab. And we've got this inefficiency here from the 1 hour candle on our candle 47. So if it continues on its way up, of course, price will have to come down to make a pullback. Okay, so everybody knows that price works from high, low, and 50%. So we don't want to be seeing these market breaking through that 50. In case it does, we have these other Fibonacci here, which is the minimum of movement, which means that price could come all the way down to these support below. Okay, because this would be the other 50%. So price will move, make a correction around the 50, move again, make another correction, and so forward. Let's see how everything is gonna play out. Just do one little thing here. Let's see how it goes. So right now, candle 53 is getting a bit of a pressure from buyers. Okay, so got to support, and buyers are trying to push this price up. Let's go over to our 5 minutes. So we've got support. Resistance is the trigger candle. All right, guys, got up really early today. Today was up at 5:30 after going to sleep at midnight. The market doesn't sleep, but we must. Otherwise, we get really tired. Okay, cool. So We have that inefficiency there. Let's see how the 5 minutes is playing out. At the moment, so we still above that 50%. Price is just coming back from that support. We do have support on this other side. 2 minutes and 40 seconds for the price to close. If we were to have a smaller FIBO, we would have one from here to here. And at that price would be above 50% at the moment. Let's see if it will confirm the pullback. We would love to see a pullback confirmation on the 1 minute to go up before we start thinking about buying anything. At the moment, we don't have a confirmation. Stop in a trade like this, we're looking at about 1,000 points at the moment. That's quite a bit. Let's see how it goes. Candle 794 tried to come up and then break through all these trigger candles, but it didn't manage to break through candle 750 here. It tried to and then got pushed down. So candle 795 has tested up. Let's see if it will continue on its way up or if it will come down. Price is fighting through, trying to break through that candle 750. We got 17 seconds to go on this candle. On the 15-minute candle, I would like to see another test down. Okay, it's closing as some sort of a doji there, but I would like to see a test down. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put a buy here on top of candle 160. Gonna buy it with a small lot, which is just a 1 lot instead of my usual hand, because my stop is a bit far away. So it's testing down now. Let's see if it will come and grab my trade. What we can see on 1 minute, testing quite well. As we know, the 15-minute candle tends to test a lot higher. I mean, a lot more than what a 5-minute candle will test. So this is fine. Candle 160 is testing 50% of candle 159, which is very good. Now, if it does break through or closes below here that 50%, then we'll take our buy order out. It's just coming to grab all of that inefficiency that was created on candle 159. This is the beauty about putting your buys or your sells on the back of the candle instead of clicking in a buy now. Okay. Reason I decided to put a buy in there is simply because I knew candle 54 had to test down, and then if it decides to come back up, I've got my order there. So it has confirmed pullback to the minimals at the moment, but we are in that region of support. So I do not want to sell in that region. Let me have a look on how everything else is moving today. All right, so it has just renewed that last high. So it has completed its obligation as a pullback. So candle 54 now is going to test that trigger candle 49 on the 15 minutes. And I'm going to take my buy order out. For now, let's see what happens. Okay, just getting to that liquidity and that inefficiency on the 15 minutes. Price got into trigger candle 145. Our relevant stopping point is 147 at the moment. So we're just waiting in that region. Let me move one of my screens down here. Okay, cool. All right, so it's grabbing all of that inefficiency at the moment. So well inside of that last support. Makes it quite impossible for us to sell at the moment because our stop loss would be about 1400, which is quite a bit to get into a trade in that region. Where also price doesn't seem to be breaking through that trigger candle, that relevant stopping point 147. It's trying to, but finding a bit of a hard time. It's almost at that other support point. I'm not gonna sell in there, guys, okay? We do have a sale in that region, but I do not want to sell there just yet. We have many regions to the left that could hold that price. So I would like to wait a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Right, so candle 161 went around the support region. It's coming back up. Let's see if it's going to continue. Market's moving a bit slow, but it is moving, which is great. All right, so price is a bit stuck in there, just above support. My throat's still a bit bad. Still got that bit of a flu. Yesterday, I had to record a workshop that we do with our students on the opening of the Asian market, and I coughed a lot. So, but it's all right. We'll get better. Having some meds at the moment to try to um, get better with it. But let's go. Not only that, the meds leaves you a bit doozy as well. So, all right. If you guys got any questions, please make sure that you write on the chat in there, okay? And I'll do my best to answer them as quick as I can. Waiting for that candle 161 to see what it will want to do. Could give me a three candle pattern in there. So I'm waiting for it. Got a bit of pressure from buyers, also a little pressure from sellers as well in the same region. So there's a bit of a fight in there against who's gonna win it. I am a buyer in this market still, okay? It hasn't changed the structure from a buyer to seller, so I'm still a buyer in this market. Let me see if I can grab this. So we've got this Fibonacci here. I do not want to be buying just below that structure there, okay? Would be good if price actually came back inside of that structure. Because if we buy here, it might just touch there and then come back down. That wouldn't be a very good thing to do for the moment. If we buy right now, we would have pretty much, again, about 1,000 points. Oh, bugger. Let's see if candle 162 tests down. It's got to test down quite well. And it should test down at least to this trigger candle here. This could be a rejection of this trigger candle 49. Hasn't tested enough yet. I'm gonna put a buy in there just on top of candle 162. It got me. Let's see if it will continue on its way up. I'll put my stop down here. But if it comes back down, I'll stop it before, okay? I'll stop it before. I'm not gonna hold that whole stop. Let's see if candle 162 will continue on its way up. Just went around to that 50% region in there. Let's see if it will manage to break through. If I get a big push down here and then price breaks through these trigger candles here, then I'm not holding on to this trade. I will cancel it. We have got a lot of inefficiency here from candle 160. This could accelerate the price up. We do have support here on 15 minutes, which is our trigger candle in there. My target for this trade is it could be the maximum of candle 160, or it could be our trigger candle 155 on top there. So one of those would be a good target. One thing I would like to see on the 1 minute here is a price break, starting breaking through candles before. It hasn't done so yet. Just candle 805 broke through candle 804. 806 hasn't continued the on its way up. So price is coming to test now that trigger candle. If it does break through that support, then I will get out of this trade. And then I'll wait for a next one. Price is coming down quite fast, which means there's a big push from sellers at the moment. Let's see if buyers will be able to take control. And then now that price has stopped renewing highs, we've got this is more feeble. We got 30 seconds to go. Let's see if price will come back up or if we stay below that trigger candle 803. Now, if it does a pullback around here on these triggers and goes back up, then it would be a good news because then it would be starting to change the structure on the 1 minute. It closed exactly at the 50%. That's not good. It doesn't allow me to get out of my trade simply because it closed at the relevant stopping point. So it doesn't tell me that it broke through. Candle 810 did open below the 50, but just below. It has tested down, trying to test up at the moment. Let's see if it has found a good enough support. It has to break through that candle 807 to continue on its way up. There we go. Let's see if it will break through. Getting pushed from sellers at the moment. So we'll wait once again to see if candle 811 will continue its way up or if it'll come down to that trigger candle 803. We've got a really good resistance from sellers here at this point. So we are now on our break even once again. On the 15 minutes, candle 55 is actually testing up, which is a not very good sign because you wanted to see a testing down, but it could be that price will just continue now if it breaks through that trigger candle, okay? Sometimes price will not test on the 15 minutes, but normally it won't test when it has quite a lot of power to continue and quite a lot of momentum to continue on its way up. At the moment, it's not showing us that. So I will prepare to cancel my trade. Price is testing the support once again. It got a little bit of a rejection here on that 50% before, which is the 50% of the movement. Candle 55 now has tested down. Let's see if it comes back up. You have two candles that tried to break through candle 807 but didn't manage to. So 812 right now is breaking through candle 803. All the inefficiency from candle 50 has been taken, so there's no more inefficiency around that region. The only thing we have is liquidity below candle 54. So 812 has broken through at the moment. 813, 803, sorry. If candle 813 has done a small test down, if it goes back up, that's fine. If it doesn't, then price most likely will come to grab our stop. I have lowered my hand here because I don't want to be risking. My risk management is in place. I don't want to be risking a lot just now because we have to leave margin for the opening of the American market. So you can trade on that. I'm going to take my trade out right now. Price still may come up, but at the moment it has told me that it has confirmed pullback to the minimals. So once it confirms pullback to the minimals, it has an obligation of coming through below the structure that it had before. So there's not really much point of me holding that trade right here because I know that it will come to stop me. So what's the point? I'll be losing an extra $300 just to say that he came and got my stop. For me, it's not worth it. And I'm not going to be pulling my stop lower than what already was. That's all right. It's one of those days. Right now we start having a trend line. So now in 1 minute, we start getting this trend line. Let's see if this price will break through that 50%. If it does, and it does a small pullback, we could be selling to come and grab that liquidity down below. As price has broken through that last structure, it made a pullback. So it's changing the structure now from a buying structure to a selling structure over that 50% right there. This is also a regional support. Let's see how price will react to that. This is the good thing about the reading candle per candle. You will know exactly when to get into the trade, when to get out of the trade, what should happen to the price in that region. So you can protect yourself quite well when you get into trades like this. Candle 163 did not break through. The obligation of candle 164 is to continue on its way down. Let's see if candle 816 will test the resistance before. So we've got resistance here at candle 801. Then let's see if we'll break that. We will need at least to test this region here to tell me that it has tested resistance, but it doesn't seem like it will do that for now. The bad thing is that we will clear all that liquidity, all the inefficiency out before we can actually get into that trade. But if it closes above that 50, we will buy. I will be happy to buy once again. Okay, I just won't buy if it comes below that 50, then I wouldn't be buying. Let's see if we get a rejection in that region or not. Okay, so it came and grabbed that liquidity below candle 145. Just have a look at something really quick. Okay, so candle 164 is still inside of that structure. Would be good if it actually closed above candle 801. This is a good regional support. We still have got a minute and 30 seconds on the 5 minutes. Let's see if this structure here comes over that resistance candle. If it doesn't, then it doesn't give us a sell either. So we can't buy, we can't sell. We can't quite do anything for the moment. We have to wait to see how candle 164 we will close. We would have a stop of, let's see how many points roughly. We wait to buy, we've got 600 points of stop. Luciano, good morning, buddy. Okay, price opened up with a gap. So that's not really good. It should come up to close the gap before it continues on its way down. Price on 164 did close above that 50% region. So candle 821 will have to come up to close that gap. Over here at the moment, what we can say is that, hey, Camila, how are you? You all right? Good to have you here. So we do have support around this region here. So we would be waiting. Oh, look at that. So it's going to grab it all at once. That's the hard thing about it. When it goes all at once, there's nothing we can do about that. So it just cleared all the liquidity we had from that last movement. It did not test up. It did not leave us any signs that we could sell right in there. Man, look at that. All right, so we did not get into that trade because candle 164 did not close below that 50%. Candle 165 did not test up. So we do not trust candles that don't test, okay? So we will just wait for a rejection of that movement or for it to continue on its way down. We can wait for one of those. Looks like that was a constitutional move. This is not quite normal. Even though you had a little bit of stop in that region, it wasn't just enough to do that big pull down. Now, the good thing about these liquidity grab that you just did is that if it comes back up, now we know that it has enough liquidity to continue to break through. Okay, so today it made a really awesome movement here, left the inefficiency here on the 15 minutes. And then now it just came and grabbed all that liquidity all at once, which means that if it gives us a buy right now, we would know that we would be buying with a price that's full of liquidity. So I would be happy with that buy, but that buy needs to happen above this 50% here. So price would have to come back up for us to be able to buy, okay? Or price would need to get into a region of support, which could be this bottom one here, and then reject it from here upwards. Because then what we will have is we'll have all of these inefficiency here on the 5 minutes up for grabs, and then we could be part of that movement. And that movement could give us basically 6,000 points. Let's be humble and we could take 5,600 points. So let's see how it does. We can't get into this trade right now because the stop is ginormous. It's just gigantic. We're talking about 2,000 points at the moment. So it closed below, on the 15 minutes, it closed below its 50%. On the 5 minutes, it closed above its 50%. So I'm not going to get into a trade in that region, okay? We had a very big movement down, but then we had pretty much half of that movement coming up, straight up. We know that price grabbed that liquidity in there. So we are just below 50% of the day right now. So it could give us a 3 candle pattern around the 50% of the day, which is about there. But then we need to wait for candle 166 to do its job. It does need to close inside of candle 165 for us to do that. If it continue on its way down, that's totally fine. I'm happy with that, but I'm not going to be able to sell right now. Just 1 second. Big push from buyers at the moment. Only 1 minute. Let's see where we are at the moment. So high of 50%. We're just, price is just working at the 50% region of the day. We are above 50% of the last pull down. So let's see. Looks like my internet is not so good today. We get a little bit of buffering. Sorry, guys. I do apologize for that. That at least is what YouTube's telling me right now. But there we go. So at the moment, working at 50% of the day, we're just tracking price right now. The stop is quite big, so we don't want to be selling just there, okay? Because if this movement decides to come back up to clear all this inefficiency created here on candle 165, if we sell, it's a very big stop up here. We're talking about 1,600 points at least. And then if we decide to buy, we are talking pretty much almost 3,000 points. So we would need to protect our price on the 1 minute instead of the 5 minutes to try to short that stop loss. On 1 minute, buyers are breaking through the selling candles. We've got 59 seconds to go. At the moment, price is closing above trigger candles to the left. Here on candle 188 from yesterday. Not a very easy movement to trade at the moment. Candle 56 is just testing support to the left right now. Candle 830 is coming around to that 50% of the movement. So just tested that. Candle 167 is testing up. Let's see if test down. We do not have a 3 candle pattern here on the 5 minutes simply because candle 166 actually closed on the 50%. Yeah, just above it. But candle 167 did not test down. It should have tested at least around the 50% region here. Should be telling us that it looked for support prior to coming back up. But it's okay. We have a rejection here on the 15 minutes. We're still waiting to see if we will reject this 50%. We do have this Fibonacci here as well, which is this one. So price could still be coming down. That is a good rejection of that support region. But one thing that candle 165 didn't do, it didn't collect the liquidity below candle 115. If it had grabbed, that would be a very good indication that it came and cleared everything up and then it's going up. At the moment, we know it has got enough liquidity to make the movement it wants to do. So we're just waiting for it to confirm to us that that is actually the movement that market will do at the moment. We still have got our trend line here. At the moment, on the 1 minute, we have lower lows and lower highs. Let's see if market will change their structure. We have got support around this region here. Let me just move this around. Let's see how price will behave around there. Brazilian market's going a bit crazy today. Just on waves. Not making anything clear at the moment. Around 5 minutes. Cool. All right, so candle 167 right now is above candle 166 high. It is in the region of resistance just above. It is below 50% of these movements still. Okay, so we want to see this price breaking through that 50 to give us some sort of assurance about that resistance. We've got 7 minutes to go in our live, so I'll give you a overview of what we are expecting on this movement now at the opening of the American market. So what we expect is if price comes above this 50%, okay, and then it does a small pullback, it's got to test it. So if it tests the support once again, so if it tests, come on, if it tests the support once again and finds support, we have a really good buy until about trigger candle 155, okay? So it's just above our trigger candle. You could take your target out at candle at the region of the 5107, okay? And for shorting the market, it would need to design some sort of a pullback. It could come around here and then just drop below. Okay, so price shows us that it doesn't want to come up. It will have to come down. Once it confirms the pullback, then we can short the market. It will be confirming the pullback around the 50% region of the price, okay? So once it does that, we could be shorting this market with a good chance of it coming down. We do still have a lot of liquidity down below, which is liquidity from yesterday. So it's pretty much down here, okay? So there is a whole bunch of liquidity in this region right now. Down below, you have got inefficiency from candle 1 from yesterday. So we have got these regions. I can take this one out. And I can take this one out. Those don't exist anymore. Man, I need to get some sleep. But today's going to be a very, very long day, so there's a lot to do. I've got to go to the farm and I've got a guy coming to pick up some cattle. So I've got to send a couple of trucks of cattle away today. Candle 168 did go around that last resistance. testing down at the moment. We can see that buyers haven't been able to push the price through on the 1 minute, but also sellers didn't win that price either. Let's see how price will behave right now. Candle 168, it's continuing on its way up. It's giving us a bit of movement there from buyers. Now, if this price does break through this 50% here, and this trigger candle to the left, we could potentially see a good buying, a very positive trade going up, okay? But we have to be in the right region to do that. Okay, big pressure through. So now it has cleared the inefficiency out of that 5-minute candle. Let's see if price will close above that 50% now. 45 seconds to go. $30 to go. Candle 840 is trying to break through these trigger candles to the left here. Let's see if we'll manage to do that. Candle 840 also has to close this gap in between 821 and 820. So it just did that. That's good. Now let's say you got 5 seconds to close above. Come on, buddy. Oh, yes, it closed in the region. Let's wait for that candle 869 to test down. I'm gonna put a buy above my 50% of the day here. Let's see if that will grab me. It did. So now I want the price to continue on its way up. Cool. Guys, it's now 10 o'clock. Well, it has been awesome to be here together with you guys. I am going to hold this buy until up the top there. Okay. If price rejects and comes down and breaks through that trigger candle, then I'll take my buy out. But we have got, for the moment, all the confluences that this price should go up, okay? On the 15 minutes here, candle 56 closed well above the 50% of candle 55, and we also have got that inefficiency on that candle to continue on its way up. So loads of confluences for us to hold that price. This has been the trading cage. This is where we beat the gold. And once again, I would like to say thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also share this channel with your friends, okay? We are a new channel. We need all the help we can get. And we are here trading live with you guys every single day. So not a lot of people can do this, okay? You got to know what you're doing to be able to do things like this with you guys. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. If you have any questions, please leave on your comments below. I will leave my Brazilian phone number just in case any of you guys are interested on private mentorships, okay? So I can offer you those. That's number is on WhatsApp as well. And also, I will leave you my Instagram. It's Tiago Trading Cage. That's awesome. And also, I have my private one, which is Tiago Andrade Trader. So follow us on both Instagram accounts if you want. It will be awesome to have you around joining us. Thank you very much, you guys, for now. I will go because I've got to trade with my students. It has been awesome to be here